6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
What we do here is go back.
Hey everybody, welcome to another live chat. I'm Steven Jensen, that's Jessi Davin, and we are here mainly to talk about AEW Dynamite and how fire of a show it was, especially that main event. There was a lot of good stuff to talk about. As always, make sure, if you want your voice heard, if you want to make sure that we answer your question, you have a statement, something you want read out on the air live, anything at all, me and Jessi will make sure to address it if you send a super chat. Any amount, and we'll make sure to do that for you. So, super chats work, and we also have the donation link down below as well. The donation links have some Easter eggs available too, so some different GIFs and stuff depending on donation amounts. Just think about numbers in wrestling that might make sense, and some different stuff pops up, which is kind of cool also. But, yeah, really good show last night in my opinion. Jessi, before we get into everything, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Had my 20-week ultrasound yesterday. Everything looks great. I'm officially halfway through my pregnancy. We cleared out the what's soon to be the baby's room because it was a guest room kind of thing. So we moved on. I didn't move the furniture. We did that. Had my appointment yesterday and that went good. Had my progesterone shot today. It was fun. So I'm doing good. This baby is moving and grooving and kicking me like crazy, and I feel it. Trying to get Scarlett and the hubs to feel it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know I've told you before, like off stream, but so in a job that I had previously, I worked with a lot of women, and so it was like really common that somebody that I worked with was always pregnant. Like there was always like a pregnant woman around, like pretty much at all times. And I got to know them, like, the people I worked with really well because we work closely, and anyway, like, they would do that every now and then. They'd be like, it'd be kicking, and they'd be like, hey, do you want to feel that? And I would be like, Yeah, and like I like touched like their tummies,
Yeah.
and it was so wild. Like you could, like they would be like, oh, I think you like they could feel like a hiccup, and they'd be like, hey, I
Yeah,
think
the
he's a hiccup,
hiccups.
and I'm like
Yeah.
that's so insane. How you it's like I know it sounds strange, I guess, kind of just talk about like, but it's you feel like there's like a
Weird.
legitimate weird connection where like they know that
Yeah.
like there's like a hand there, and
Man.
like it's man, it's why as somebody who does not have kids of my own, like that was surreal, kind of that whole kind of feeling.
Yeah, and it's even weirder when it's like inside.
Oh, I can only
Like,
imagine.
yeah. But it's funny because I guess the best, it kind of feels like gas, but just way more intense. Like in the beginning, it feels like, if you have like a gas bubble that kind of moves around, like digestion, kind of feels like that, but obviously it's way more intense. And then once like the baby gets bigger, um, you start to like when Scarlett was in my tummy, like I knew like exactly like where her butt was. Like I could tell. I was like, oh, her butt's right there. Like she had the
That's so
hiccups.
weird.
And like I remember like being able to see her like flip when she finally flipped, because they start out, they don't flip to head down until like later on. And so I remember feeling her flip. It was like, whoa! It's like a literal flip inside your stomach. It's like, "Ugh."
That's so
But
wild.
it's really cool now that I can actually like feel it. It's really neat. It's like it really started to pick up like last week, and like probably like 18 weeks, but it's really started to like obviously really pick up. And so everything looked good on the ultrasound, the anatomy, the heart looks good. There's two kidneys. The baby weighs as much as like 3 sticks of butter.
That's
That's what
that's
my ultrasound tech is great. She was awesome.
but
And that,
I can
you
envision
can
that though.
visualize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, so that's good. Also Ohio State football is back.
Oh yeah,
Um,
congratulations.
so I'm really happy about. I'm waiting currently to hear if Sean Wade is returning. He decided last week to opt out of the season. Understandably, he came back for his senior. He's already graduated. He came back for his last year of eligibility. Was planning to this year instead of going pro, which he would have been a first round draft pick to win a national championship. And obviously, with everything happening, um, he decided to opt out and go pro because the Big Ten was doing him really dirty. The Big Ten did everyone really dirty. And so I'm waiting to hear if he's going to return. If not, I completely understand. Wyatt Davis, another really big, huge name who opted out early, has decided to return. So that's a big deal. So really excited about that. Really nervous because they have not given us a lot of room for error. Like there's like no leeway, which they could have avoided if they would have just started the season earlier. But hey, whatever. We're gonna get some football, so I'm excited about that. And I read the most trash article I've ever read from USA Today. By the way, it was awful. It was trash. It was garbage. But I will not be talking about that today. We can talk about the amazing episode of AEW Dynamite that my husband was watching over NXT, but I won't say that.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on NXT yet. I'm sure it was a good show. I mean, there was really good matches there. So
I know. I heard. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard that like Io Shirai had a really good match.
wasn't
I heard that.
wasn't Timothy Thatcher and Damian Priest last night?
Was it? I don't know. I know that the tag match was good. Was that last night? I don't know. I didn't even.
Oh yeah.
What was the
Well,
big
yeah,
announcement?
I think they did like was Imperium versus Breeze Zango. I think was the I think that was the tag team match. NXT's been really good lately. Like I really liked
Yeah.
when they were on separate nights for the last couple weeks.
I know.
But then last night, like definitely watching Dynamite over NXT Live. So, which I thought was a great show. Once again, like one more reminder to the chat that if you want your voice heard, super chats. We're gonna make sure to talk a lot about Dynamite because there's a lot to talk about. I thought it was a really good show, like top to
Yeah, it
bottom.
was.
Um,
It was. I missed the first, I would say 15, 20 minutes. Like I blast off. I got in as soon as the end of the tag match when they got the leg pull finish kind of thing, because my daughter wanted me to be with her in her room until she fell asleep. So I did miss the beginning. And instead of watching that, like I should have, this afternoon, I just rewatched the Street Fight because it was just really good. So I did miss that. So you can fill me in on that. But I heard what the Young Bucks did.
Yeah, they're doing like God, throat clear. Jeez. Let me pull this up. So, this is basically the show from last night, right off AEW's website. Yeah, I mean, what I really liked about this is they actually explain. So we have Jurassic Express versus FTR, and it's a non-title match, and they actually explain like FTR. Or Jurassic Express is not getting a title shot because they're not ranked in the top 5, which I was like, that's great. That's a great reason, because usually when you have, like WWE is a perfect example of it. Usually when you have these non-title matches, it just doesn't make any sense why it's non-title. And then like the champion loses, and then it winds up being like a rematch for the title later. They do that formula over and over and over again. In this, I was like, oh damn, why wouldn't Jurassic Express get a title shot? Like FTR are the champions, like they're both great tag teams. Why wouldn't it be for the title? And then they said on commentary, they're not ranked in the top 5, so if they win, they'll probably be ranked in the top 5, and then if they have a rematch, it'll be for the titles. But I like that AEW is sticking to something where the rankings actually matter, and if you're not ranked in the top 5, you don't get a title shot, which is perfect, because, and also that they're doing it for all 5. Like, it isn't just the number 1 contender, because if the champion beats the number 1 contender, then you can go to the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, and that top 5 is going to keep shifting. So I think AEW made all the sense in the world with this. I really, really like that they explained this all.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's a really, I missed it, but I think that's a great idea, because I think from WWE, and this isn't like a knock on WWE, but from WWE, it's kind of like ingrained in our brains that if you win like a match, like a big match, or you get momentum, you should automatically be given a title match. And so it was great to explain kind of, here's our rules and here's why. I think that's great. I think we kind of need that, especially in a new company like AEW, whose rules aren't quite defined and as clear, and it differentiates them from WWE a little bit, because I mean the whole rankings thing is just great. I mean, every week you see them, and you see the wrestlers talking about it. Why am I ranked this low? And blah blah blah. Or you got this result wrong, a la MJF.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely fantastic. I think it kind of clears up a little bit of questionality that you might have. I think that's actually very good, and I think that they should keep doing it and not stop.
Yeah. I think that pretty much led right into the stuff between like the Young Bucks and Tony Khan. And I think so I've read online that AEW has filed a trademark for some sort of terms along the line of like AEW general manager or something along those lines. And I'd imagine it wouldn't be Tony Khan. Everyone knows he owns the company. Like, I mean, I guess you could be the general manager of the company he owns. Like, that, you could do that. But I also think a lot of people are really cool with the idea of him just, like, not being a part of the on-screen. I think he seems like that's what, from interviews I've heard him do. I've heard him talk about how he doesn't want to be an on-air character. I've heard about how he was basically forced into doing, like, the face scan for, like, potential toys or video games and stuff. Like, he doesn't really, like, he wants a toy because he's a giant wrestling nerd, but he's not out there like, I should get a toy, and when, like, most of his roster doesn't have one yet and stuff like that. Like, he's putting the roster first and then himself. But, so I don't really want to see Tony Khan as, like, an on-air person, but I do have a feeling that a lot of this stuff is leading to some sort of general manager, because there's going to be a bunch of stuff.
I thought it was for a video game.
I mean, I guess it could be, but there's also going to be, I mean, I'm cool with them not doing a general manager thing, by the way. Like, I'm totally fine with that. But
oh yeah, someone in the chat said it.
The GM thing is for a video game. Well, if that's the case,
well, if it, I don't know.
I mean, and that's cool. I mean, I really want them to make a video game. So, like, if that's just something for the video game, that's great. Yeah, I should rephrase that. I really want to make sure they make a video game that's similar to the N64 video games, because that's what they keep talking about. Like, that isn't confirmed, but they're talking about making those games to where, like, they have the old, like, AKI, THQ, N64 style controls and that kind of stuff.
I want simple.
Yeah, that was much more simple, and it still holds up. Like, I played No Mercy on the
I-
N64 the other day, and it's still great.
You lose me in a video game when you have to press a button harder or softer to like change a move. I'm like, no. No, 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 no. I'm playing with passion. I smash buttons. I don't need to be pressing X really hard.
Well, the No
Or, like,
Mercy, the
you
No
know-
Mercy control system did have some of that.
It
The
did.
A and the B buttons. Well, the A button actually was you can click it for a short like a quick grapple, and
Well, if
weaker
you're holding
moves,
it
or you
longer,
hold
that's
it.
different.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just holding it different. I thought that's what
Okay,
you were
yeah,
saying.
because like Madden, I'm talking to you. You lost me
Oh,
on.
I see. I see.
Like,
What you're
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate that. Oh my god. No. Madden's trash. Sorry. I said it.
Madden is trash this year. Well, because they
It's
don't.
trash.
They don't
It's the
update
same
it.
every year.
Yeah.
It's the same every year. They make billions of dollars on microtransactions and they never change a thing.
It's the same thing with the WWE games. It's the same exact
Yeah.
thing with those 2K
Are
WWE
there
games.
microtransactions in that one?
Well, they put a whole bunch of DLC in there that you have to pay for, like that stuff
That's
that you would
true.
want.
That's true.
Although I was gonna give 2K Battlegrounds a try because I think that comes out like tomorrow, but it's like 40.
Yeah.
It's like $40. I thought it was gonna be like $20. I'm like,
That was gonna be on my phone.
this is like $10, maybe 20 at the most, less than what 2K costs, and like this is like a dumbed down arcade version of that game that looks like a mobile game. Like,
It does look like a mobile. I thought it was a mobile game.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to play it. Maybe I'll do like the trial or something. But this is the first. I think I've talked about it on stream. This is the first year since the days of the N64, and technically speaking, I guess kind of since like the Super Nintendo days. Even I have like the Genesis WWF games even and stuff like that. This is the first year in so long that I just skipped the WWE game, like the annual WWE game. Just not worth playing. But and that's really sad. But all that to say,
GM.
the
Tony
GM
Khan.
thing. Tony Khan was there. The Young Bucks wound up throwing cash at him, which is
They got to pay their fine, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And it's but which is it's a heelish thing, but it's also funny. Like it's kind of riding the middle because like you know the fans are gonna see that and be like, oh, that's actually like you like seeing it. You know, it's like So what did you think about all this? And like, do you think that the Young Bucks? Because I mean, Young Bucks and FTR is gonna happen. It's just like a matter of getting there and who looks heelish
Who's
and
bad.
who doesn't. Right, exactly. Because they all kind of look
Yeah.
both at times, you know.
Well, I feel I wouldn't put it past AEW to not do like a heel and a face thing. I think
Yeah.
AEW can pull off like a heel and heel match.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're stuck on these like 101 kind of basics in a match. I think a heel versus heel match is pretty cool. And I mean, you end up like rooting for someone anyway. Oh, we got a super chat from Marty.
Yes, I got.
can read
the,
it later.
I got. Yeah,
Okay.
I got Marty. I got the text on my screen, so we'll make sure to get to that after Jess.
Yes, thank you, Marty. So I feel like they could pull it off. It's interesting to see. I'm really happy with how AEW is allowing FTR, you know, and I guess the Young Bucks, not really the Young Bucks, but mainly FTR to have these other matches with other like tag teams, yet still be able to continue the storyline very well. So you have, you know, I believe this is what happened. The Young Bucks came out and super kicked the Luchasaurus, I guess, Jurassic Express, right? They came out like super kicked him and then walked in the back.
Now. I can't remember
And
how
then-
this all went down.
Okay.
Because this
But
is
it-
initially because of them kicking. Was it
Yeah.
Marvez? Alex Marvez, who's trying to get an interview, and then
Yeah.
and they
That was
also
so funny.
laid out Marco Stunt a couple weeks ago. Matt Jackson like kicked Marco on the
Yeah.
outside, like
Yes.
killed him. I
Wild.
can't remember. I can't remember what happened last night. Like
The
all
fine was for the reporter.
right, the Marvez double
Yeah.
super kick. Yeah,
That was, oh god, it was beautiful.
super kick the ref. Yeah. I think Jay Jeezy's right.
Yeah,
That-
yeah. So they allow them to have this match, and it's honestly it's so much better than like the Young Bucks interfering and costing them the match or something. Like it's so much better than actually interfering in the wrestling. Like, do it before, do it after. Don't mess up the wrestling that's happening on TV. Because I feel like sometimes WWE does it where you're like, all right, I'm just waiting for this match to be, a DQ because of interference, because of this storyline they gotta get going. So I really do like it. I like where they're going. Obviously, it's a huge match. I don't know how much longer they're gonna play it out. Are they? Wait. No, never mind. I was thinking about the 1 year All Out show, which I really want, or All Out Dynamite show, which I really want to go to. That's the one I want to try and get to, is that 1 year, the October 14th, even though it's not really technically it's a year, but that's the show I really want to get to.
That's the one where they're already Moxley and Archer. That's the main event there, right? And then I would imagine, like, I feel like that's got to be the show where Cutler and Avalon, like, somebody wins. Like, they have the one-on-one blow-off match. Like, because it'd be 1 full year of them losing. And it's like, someone gets a win after 1 year. Like, I think that would make...
That would be great.
Because they did it on Dynamite, and it was a double count-out. And you can tell, like, they've highlighted it enough on being the elite that, like, I feel like... I mean, I'm not... They may as well just put it on Dynamite. Like, just put it on the 1 year anniversary of Dynamite. Like, it's not going to get any bigger than that interest-wise. Like, somebody wins, and then figure it out from there, I think.
Okay, I'll get it for you in a minute, okay? Just be patient.
I'll read out that super chat from Marty D29.
Yes, and then we got another one from Dylan as well, so let's read those out.
So Marty says, I enjoy the show. Glad Jessi gets her OSU football. Yes, we're both very happy about that.
Oh, thank you, Marty. That's so sweet, yes.
Says, someone please help Thunder Rosa get a real belt and throw that plastic toy away. So he doesn't like the design of the NWA Women's Championship.
You can hardly be like
We'll get more to about Thunder Rosa when we get a little bit farther on the show, because she wrestled again. But Thunder Rosa, I think, is incredible, and I love the fact that she is the NWA Women's Champion. But I'm with you though. I'm not like huge on the belt design, if that's what you were saying. And then Dylan's wrestling stuff says, "What's up, guys? Watching NXT UK right now."
Yay, NXT UK is back.
I forgot that's today, right?
Yeah, he says he's watching it right now.
Right. So like, I
like, how's the new set look? How does the new set look, Dylan? I really liked the layout of it. I saw a picture of it. I think Wrestling Gary posted it.
I want my other feet.
Oh no, get your foot out of there. But it looks awesome. Okay, what is with the women's titles looking like so tiny? At least I'll give it to WWE. Their women's titles look just like the men's. They look really good. And I do give WWE all the credit in the world for that. The Divas title belt was... Honestly, I kind of like the Divas title belt for what it was.
The butterfly one?
I mean, I didn't like it. It was not my aesthetic, but personally, but it was for a Divas belt. If you're talking about a diva, it made sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for what they were giving the women to do during the Divas era, that belt made sense. And it was actually, like, to size.
Yeah, well, I'll never forget that... Well, I do forget who was the initial champion. It might have been Michelle McCool. Someone in the chat will definitely know. But the belt, everyone thought that Natty Neidhart... oh, yeah, right. Corey would definitely know.
Corey knows everything.
But I remember Natty Neidhart, everyone thought she was going to win that belt, and then they made the belt look like her colors and stuff, and everyone was like, oh, for sure, it's going to be Natty. And then it wound up not being her. And I think it might have been... I want to say it was Michelle McCool, but I could be...
Oh, we need Corey.
Totally wrong about
Corey
that.
is our encyclopedia of knowledge. And he says, oh, it's good. They're inside BT Sports Studio in London. It's beautiful. Yeah, I think that set was... it looked really good. I really like that set. So I'm really glad they're on. I hope it's a good show, Dylan. I hope you let us know. So, yeah. Thanks for that super chat.
And I just looked it up also. It was Michelle McCool. I can't believe I remembered that. Wow.
Like I said, y'all, if you want super chats or donations, Marty did the donation through the Streamlabs. That link is in the description. Dylan, both of y'all are so awesome. Did it right through this chat. Really helps us out. Really appreciates it. Really appreciate it. Especially since I have Sue giving the middle finger in the in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about.
It's okay. I don't. I thought it was a great thumbnail. If we get demonetized over that, who cares? Like, that's worth it.
Yeah.
What happened after this on this show? Like, Private Party got attacked.
Was it the Matt Hardy
back,
thing?
right? Oh, Matt Hardy was attacked in the back. That's
Yeah.
right. In Private Party.
Which I thought it gave me very Tanya Harding or whatever vibes.
Yes. Why? Why?
Why?
I just realized my window's open. Let me close this real quick. I don't know.
Oh no!
In case there's...
That sounded like porn.
Hold on just a second.
Sorry, everyone watching. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. My apologies.
All right, we're good.
We're good.
We're good. But yeah, Matt Hardy attacked Private Party. He's like, I don't know. We'll see where all this goes.
Matt Hardy didn't attack Private Party.
No. Private Party was there with him, like in the back.
Yeah.
Like, because
they were like, "What's going on?"
Right. I mean, the Matt Hardy Private Party stuff, I'm just interested in like seeing where it goes because.
Me too. It gives Matt Hardy. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that it gives Private Party something to do that's different than what they've been doing because they're a lot of fun to watch in the ring, but
Yes.
they're incredibly. And this is just my personal opinion, obviously. I think they're incredibly annoying on being the elite. Like they're like characters on being the elite. I'm like, y'all got to find something better to do with these guys. Like, and I don't know if it's them or like what it is, but maybe Matt Hardy being with them can kind of guide them in the right direction. There's really no one better in like tag team wrestling to guide a team than someone like Matt Hardy. So, because like I said, they're a lot of fun to watch in the ring, and they're getting better and better and better. Like they're going to be an amazing team, but they got to get the character thing. I like they've already changed their theme music. They've already changed their entrance, so they are going the right direction. I think so. I think they'll figure it out. But
yeah, I completely agree, and I like how this also not only gives Private Party a twist from like what they've been doing and they're being elite. It's kind of like repackaging them in some sort of way, like revamping them. I would say it's also showing us Matt Hart. I put on too much lip gloss. Sorry. Hold on. I don't want to eat it.
I haven't worn anything on my lips, like not lip gloss, but like chapstick or anything, and it's probably been 3 years since now that I'm thinking about it. It's been a long time. Surprised I don't get chap lips.
I do. Anyways, it gives Matt Hardy. It's kind of transitioning him from the active wrestler role to like this mentor role that we all kind of want to see.
Yeah.
At least I do. It's kind of showing that he can be like a coach, a mentor, a kind of guide, so to speak, or like, you know, like a like Arn Anderson, with Cody. So I think not to that capacity with like the play card, you know, like the playbook and everything like that. But yeah. Oh, we got a super chat. Cool. Thank you, Peter Davies. I'll go ahead and read it.
Yeah, thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much. It says AEW Women's title influenced by Joshi, I think. Oh, their titles are often smaller because Joshi or General Smart. Read her taller, at least born in stardom. she is taller than a lot of people, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's actually probably a very good observation. It's probably true. However, it is an mainly American audience. I know that you just donated in British pounds, so no hate. And I know that Chanel is over there as well. We have a lot of people over there in the UK, but it's mainly like Western based, I should say. So there's a lot of people that see that belt and are like, what the, like, why? You know?
Yeah.
At least explain it, you know?
It looked extra, I mean, like when Nyla Rose had the belt, it was like, it looked like a literal toy belt on her.
Yeah.
Like how I look holding, I have a whole setup, so I don't want to knock anything over.
Oh.
But that toy belt, that AEW belt you can get from Walmart, that's like what it looks like on me. You know, it was like Nyla Rose holding this full size what was I mean, I like in theory like what they're trying to do with the designs, but you're right, it's just too small. Like that's really just kind of the
And
they're making them look different than the men's belts, which is cool because like the WWE's men and
Yeah.
women's belts have the same design, they just have different colors basically. But they're trying to at least differentiate the two. But yeah, it's too small.
Yeah, and I think also, while I think that that's a very logical explanation, and I'm not poo-pooing on Peter's opinion or anything like that, I'm just kind of giving my opinion. Are you taller?
What?
Oh, she's wearing my high heels.
Are you supposed to wear
Wow, you're so
When are
beautiful.
you wearing these?
Not recently. I don't know where you got those.
From out there.
Okay,
You heard
we'll
that
be-
Brandy designed the AEW Women's Championship
When
belts?
when
That's
did you
interesting.
wear?
If that's true. I don't know if that's true
I
or
have
not,
a
but it's
fancy
interesting.
place to go. But I think for
Like,
Japan
What
or in
Donald?
Joshi wrestling, you've got generally smaller
I want to walk.
wrestler. You
I
can
want
walk.
to talk to.
And not right this second, okay? Maybe in a little bit. But when you have women, when
Mommy,
you're
I
catering
want-
to women of all sizes
Mama,
and
I
shapes,
want-
I think you need a belt that can cater to that.
Scarlet.
Hi.
Scarlet Bomb.
It doesn't look like poop.
What?
She's got a sponge,
Nee.
a makeup sponge.
It was like a trail dog. Some dogs do this too. It was like that. And this is poop.
No. Why would you be touching it?
Yeah, they wanted it.
What is that? A football? What is
It's a makeup sponge.
Because they
Oh,
want to
it looks like a mini
poop.
football.
Oh, you don't say that. It does look like a football.
It's not a football. I don't have it. I don't have it.
You don't? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Mhm.
Where'd it go? Let's see it.
Ha
There it is.
ha ha.
Okay, what happened next?
What did happen next? I guess this was the so Kenny
was
Omega.
great he was on speed.
Yeah.
You don't have light
He
now.
was talking fast.
No more light.
Well, and I like that they're continuing the story with him and Adam Page like through the commentary, like because even when
Yeah.
there were certain things where like Hangman would be in a certain position where he'd do something and then like he'd be on the mat or something and Kenny would be like, so this is the point in the match where you usually come try to tag me, and like try to get him out of the mess. And then, like, certain things would happen, and he'd be like, yep, if I was there out there at the ring with him, like, that wouldn't have happened to him, and blah, blah, blah. But, hey, dude, Hangman is so good. Like, this guy's, like, he's going to be...
His gear looked great as well.
It looks way better than the short trunk, whatever you call those, the Speedo-looking
Chaps.
Ignored.
chaps. Oh, no, the, well,
Ignored again.
yeah.
She said she's snoring.
It's like a Snorlax, like a Pokemon. Green or Sea Grenadier, Grenadier. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know what language. Thank you very much for the subscription to the channel. When we hit 10,000 subs, we're gonna do a giveaway. By the way, we'll mention that again at the end. But if you are gonna subscribe to the channel, it's obviously free to subscribe, and when it hits 10,000, we are going to once again have some pretty cool giveaways for y'all. So make sure to do that if you haven't already. But this match was really good. They're really, really good. Frankie Kazarian, I've said this for a really long time, and this isn't a knock to SCU, but like I've always liked Frankie Kazarian better as a singles wrestler personally, and I really, really was reminded of that in this match with Hangman. Like, he can still totally go at a high level. They both looked great. Hangman hitting the buckshot lariat at the end was awesome, too. Like, because Frankie was closer than the opponents normally are, and he still flipped it and nailed it. I mean, I thought this whole match was great. Everything about this was great. Hangman winning was great.
A lot of near falls too. It was very good. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot. It was really good. And Kenny Omega on commentary made it a lot more complex and didn't make the match better, but it made the show better.
Yeah, the storyline continues on. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so good, and all this is gonna do is gonna keep building Hangman as a singles wrestler over and over and over again. Like, he's just gonna go out there, get a bunch of wins. Kenny Omega's already a made man in singles wrestling. Like, he doesn't need to really be built as a singles wrestler. Everyone already knows him for what he's done. So whenever Hangman and Omega eventually meet in a singles match, which obviously will happen at some point in the future, I think that I really like the way they're building this. I can't say enough good things about it, and I can't say enough how impressed I am with Hangman Page at this stage of his career. And like, they have such a star for the future in that company if he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so too.
yeah, so good.
So good. It was great. This whole show was really good. Even if, like, there wasn't anything that I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we've
think
had.
I can't.
What did you think about this? MJF comes out and just squashes this Sean Dean
Dude,
guy.
in like record time, I think. Did anyone check? Is that like a record?
It has to be.
It has to
It was
be.
like
It has to be.
bell rang, submission.
Like the bell rang and then the bell rang again. It was like boom boom, and then MJF gave a speech like I thought he should have. Like I said, continue this campaign. Continue this campaign. I was cheated. Tried to make Justin Roberts say, you know, undisputed or whatever, undefeated champion, and just went off like he should to make us mad, but to go make us mad, but be like, okay, you have a point. I guess
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, like he has a point. He's just a jerk about it, you know?
Yeah, it's similar in ways to the Brian Cage thing, because like he never tapped out to Jon Moxley, even though Taz throwing the towel in.
Yeah.
That's a clear loss. Like that's part of the rules. If someone throws in the towel, match is over. Same with fighting. Like it's.
And same with and I like how AEW has been doing this. We'll talk about Eddie Kingston later, I guess. But Eddie Kingston kind of brought up the same thing. You know, they don't just kind of sweep it under the rug. I mean, they're bringing it up. They're bringing it up.
100%. And then it also, you also have the underlying story of Wardlow, like the slow build Batista on Evolution type thing that's going on now also, where I hope it takes a long time. I hope they build it.
Me too.
But it's one of those things where you're already seeing hints of like, one day Wardlow is going to beat the hell out of this guy and become like a big time baby face.
Oh man.
And he looks the part too. I mean, he's good in the ring. He's huge. There's so much good stuff going on for this company right now. Like there's so many storylines and so many places they can go with them. And they have all the time in the world. There's like no rush. Yeah, well, speaking of what you were just talking about with Eddie Kingston, like, what did you think about this whole promo here? And once again, Eddie Kingston mentioning that he was never eliminated, which I mentioned on our show after the pay-per-view. I was like, I hope he brings this up because he never went over the top rope. And I'm glad that they're actually using this in a storyline. Like,
what? Thank you. It was awesome. Anytime Eddie Kingston speaks, I'm my full attention. Just the way he can read a room, take over the room, and call it his bitch, like, it's just out of bounds. Like, if Samoa Joe is like not gonna renew his contract and comes to AEW, like, I'm not saying that he's going to. This is me fantasy booking in my head, so please, Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston could have a promo battle for the ages that I would love to see. I think that could be beautiful, and I love what they're doing. I love how he's like, well, we're gonna whoop on everybody, just pulling people out of the little AEW wrestler crowd, whooping on them, telling Blade to go check on Allie.
Yeah.
And even, like, I know a heel is a good heel, like a really good heel, when my husband is, like, full attention. Like, if my husband is, like, he'll be talking, he'll just be like, and just watch.
Yeah.
By the way, my NXT loving husband used my email address to order his own Jericho mask and t-shirt off of AEWshop.com.
Yes. AEW. He's converting over.
Yes. I'm telling you. And he wants to go to another show.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't supposed to say that, but I did.
Hey, I mean, I will be fair. Like I've said at the top of the show, NXT has been really good. Like it's
Oh,
been
it's
really
great.
good. But
Oh, it's great.
AEW
No,
is
no
still my
shade.
priority.
No
So,
shade.
yeah, no shame. Um, what was next? Oh, and also with Eddie Kingston. No, I didn't. I didn't hear what
I was
happened.
scratching my ear.
Oh, Eddie Kingston. With Eddie Kingston, it's so funny because like my brother is the worst at like remembering wrestlers' names,
Mm-hmm.
and every time he sees Eddie Kingston on the screen, he's always like, "Oh shit, Backyard's on TV." Like he always calls him Backyard. It's because the first time he ever saw him, I was watching the IWTV show like live when Kingston called out Cody like on the microphone like a couple months before he was on Dynamite,
Oh.
and it was in an actual backyard. It was like a backyard wrestling show that independentwrestling.tv put on. I can't remember what company it was for, but it was on that platform. And my brother just happened to be here for that, and he was like, "Oh damn, this guy's like pretty badass." Like after listening to that
Right?
promo, and now he's been seeing him on AEW. He's always like, "Oh shit, yeah, Backyard's on TV." Like every time, like he's like the only guy my brother actually roots for. Like it's so funny. He's also
That's
the only
great.
guy. He's also the only guy where if my TV's muted, like if I unmute NXT and I'm watching something on NXT and AEW is muted for whatever reason, like during that, if Eddie Kingston comes on the screen, we always like jump to the controller and switch it to we got to hear Kingston talk over whatever's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, love it. And him, you're talking about his potential with someone like Samoa Joe, like him, Eddie Kingston and John Moxley would have such an incredible build up for a match between those two guys. Like the promos those two guys would cut on each other.
Girl.
Oh my god.
Sorry, my cat is trying to jump up here, and there's no room for. There's no clearance, girl. Don't do it. I've been looking for you all day, girl. She's been hiding. Don't. Oh my god, I'm scared. She wrecked me last night. I don't know if you can see. See?
Oh yeah, I
scratches?
can see a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. She wrecked me last night. Those are bites.
Why did your cat attack you?
Because I felt really bad because, okay, sorry, little side thing. I had a bottle like this, right? And I was putting it on the counter and she decided to jump up. Oh, you can't see the bottle. The bottle like this. Oh, there she is. She decided to jump up like that. And I was moving the bottle and I bonked her right in the head. And I felt so bad. And so I was trying to love on her and instead she attacked me. And I like literally sat on my kitchen floor for 10 minutes trying to get her to like let me pet her and apologize. And she just tried to eat me instead.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know cats got that violent like that.
Well, she just was mad. She was upset.
Oh,
She
okay.
thought I was playing and I wasn't.
She was hyped up after watching Dynamite.
She was hyped. She was ready for a street fight or a parking lot fight. She's ready to go out in the garage and throw down.
Hell yeah. We got a couple, we have a few more really good matches actually here. We had Private Party, who we talked about a little bit earlier, taking on Jericho and Hager. Jericho and Hager got the win. I thought that Isaiah Cassidy sold the Judas probably better than anybody has so far that I've seen take it. I thought that was really, really good. What did you think about this match? And what do you think about Jericho and Hager just like overall as a tag team?
It's an interesting dynamic that. What's going on? I'll get you a popsicle. Let me talk about this match and then I'll give you a popsicle, okay? You talk about how you thought of it while I get her a popsicle.
Sounds good. So, I mean, I thought the match itself was pretty good. I've said it a lot before, and I forgot to mention it earlier when we talked about MJF, but MJF was mentioning how he might need a stable, like how everyone in AEW is like affiliated with some sort of group there, or most of the successful people. Moxley is kind of an outlier there, but even he has like that alliance with Darby Allin, like to this loose alliance where they always call on each other, which happened at the end of this show as well. And now we're also seeing Will Hobbs also kind of getting in that mix, which is kind of cool. So kind of Moxley's got some kind of friends around him, and MJF obviously had his cabinet, but that was mainly he just had Wardlow. And I think that MJF joining Jericho, if it was like MJF, Jericho, Wardlow you probably keep Sammy Guevara there. But if the rest of the inner circle were to disband, I think that'd be a good thing. Although I'm interested in Jericho and Hager as a team at the moment, but I don't see a scenario where they become the tag team champions. I don't see a scenario where this team lasts very long. It might be something where it becomes a reason why Jericho eventually turns on Hager or vice versa, something like that. But I feel like we've already been teased some stuff between Jericho and MJF, and I really, really want to see that. But I also don't want to see Wardlow out of the picture with that yet either. So I think Wardlow replaces Hager. I think MJF kind of replaces Santana Ortiz, who, by the way, the Inner Circle was nowhere to be found during that parking lot brawl last night to help Santana Ortiz. So, like, I'm kind of starting to see the writing on the wall where the Inner Circle may change a little bit, and I'd like to see MJF into that fold. I don't know how much of that you could hear, Jessi.
I could hear it all.
Okay, what do you think
I
about
hear it all. I pray for me because really quickly, my child got into these sugar cookies that my husband bought her that I did not approve. And I don't know if you can see, it's the Loft House cookies with all the frosting on top.
Yeah, those are great.
There's one frosting gone. Here's two frosting gone.
Oh, she's eating just the frosting off the top of them?
Yeah. Hold on, our stream is like buffering. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, hopefully we're
Is
all
yours
right. We're looking on my end.
Okay, good. Maybe it's just mine. So yeah. Here we go. Number 3. Number 4, she left a little bit. Number 5. Number 6. And she did leave some on number 7.
Nice. So that was the whole. That's like all.
That's what I was smelling when she was coming in here. I'm like, I smell birthday cake. I'm like, why am I smelling birthday cake?
Oh,
that's what I was smelling. So, yeah. So, anyways, I thought this match was great. Like I said, AEW was fantastic at leaving open-ended storyline potential without making you feel like you were left in the dust or gypped. It makes you excited and wants to tune in next week, not kind of angry or like, oh, well, this is what's going to happen. It's always like, oh, what's going to go on from here? Thought it was fantastic. Looks like we are going to get Jericho and... No, wait. Was it Jericho and Mark Queen? Was it?
No, he beat up Isaiah Cassidy. I think
Did
it
he
was,
beat up
right? Yeah, the guy... Wait, no. Well, he hit the Judas on Isaiah Cassidy. I remember that because he...
Yeah. Also, Jericho was tweeting simultaneously in the ring.
Was he real? I didn't notice that.
Yes, he tweeted, like, I didn't do it about Matt Hardy. And he's, like, on the apron. And I'm like, what? So he must have had his intern, or, like, maybe the tweet didn't tweet right away. I don't know. It was confusing.
That'd be hilarious if he was just
Yeah.
actually... Because that was, it was a live show. They had fans.
Yeah, so interesting. However, this match was good. Like you said, I agree with everything you said about the Inner Circle kind of changing a little bit. Dynamic is shifting. You know, their Mercury is in retrograde. I don't know. It's time for, like, some new alignments.
Yeah, I totally agree. This match I thought was really good. Ivelisse took on Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
Thunder Rosa with the win. I've said this before, but I need to, like, emphatically state this. Like, Thunder Rosa is better than any woman under contract with AEW. Like, she's the best. She is one of the best. Yeah, and male or female, she's one of the best wrestlers that is wrestling on this show. Like, Thunder Rosa is so good, and Ivelisse is damn good also. Like, she looked great in this match too. Like, these two, in my opinion, are like, okay, we're starting to see some shining lights here. In we've had Shida and we've had Riho and like some others that have done fairly well, but obviously there's a lot of criticism and negativity towards how the AEW women's division has panned out up to this point. Like, it gets talked about all the time. These two, I could watch wrestle over. Not.
Fantastic.
I don't want to see them wrestle each other every week because I don't want to see WWE. But I'm cool with an
Yeah.
Ivelisse match next week. I'm cool with a Thunder Rosa match next week. They need to figure out a way, if they haven't already, to make sure Thunder Rosa is either under contract or something to a degree where they can get her regularly, because she's been super impressive to me.
So impressive, so not monumental, I would say, but definitely is showing that on AEW television they can show out for women's matches. I think it's AEW, if there's one thing that they get criticism for, and I honestly think rightly so, is the lack of their women's division and lack of, not skill, but just like lack of anything really in the women's division. So I think Thunder Rosa and Ivelisse put on a fantastic match here. I thought it was great. I'd love to see more style of matches like this in AEW. Of course, I love Thunder Rosa, and I think she's fantastic and talented, but I don't think she needs to be the... I mean, honestly, it would be cool to see her, like, wrestle every week and kind of beef up this women's division. However, I don't know if that's a good thing since she's not necessarily an AEW wrestler. I don't know how much it technically does for the AEW women's division. However, I think that the women's division could take notes from this on how to do a match like this. You know, take their skilled wrestlers that can pull off a match like this, which I don't know how many there are, and do this. I think I would love to see this on television every week. I think this is great. I don't think you have to have like a super detailed storyline just because it's the women's division. You're trying to cram all this women's division stuff into one quick segment. I think that kind of dilutes it a little bit and makes it a little bit overproduced. Just give us a wrestling match and let it go from there. Like, that's all I kind of want. I mean, I can't speak for everyone. That's kind of what I want. You know? I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I have to imagine with Thunder Rosa, like, there's no way they're giving her this much attention and putting her over these people and having the showing she did against Sheeta unless they are going to use her going forward. Like, there's just no way.
I love Sheeta interfering at the end. Or not interfering, but coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
And I'm totally cool with the rematch between the... I really liked their match at All Out. I thought it was really good. Like, Sheeta's great, too. Like, I'm definitely not trashing Sheeta.
Sheeta's awesome.
Yeah, there's people who...
I think Sheeta's the best in the women's division.
I would say Thunder Rosa, but I'm not going to, like,
Well,
argue.
I'm talking about AEW.
Oh, well, I'm...
Like, on the roster.
Okay, if I'm not counting Thunder Rosa, then yeah,
Okay,
she is definitely the best women's wrestler on AEW. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But I was, like I said, I was really impressed with Ivelisse. I've liked what I've seen of Diamante so far as well. So like, there is some good stuff kind of cooking up in the crock pot, which I hope to be using today.
Pot.
Yeah, I don't know where my brother's at actually. I hope he's gonna put that together. But anyways, after this we had a Miro backstage segment. He was backstage bench pressing while Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford were hanging out.
I missed this. What was I doing?
It honestly wasn't really worth seeing, to be totally honest. Like, it wasn't really anything. It was more of Miro kind of saying like he's the best man and stuff like that. And he was flexing.
Okay.
He was looking real jacked. But I mean, I have to imagine Miro has to turn on Kip like soon. Like, there's no way they have him just like second fiddle to Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian for long. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
What the hell was I doing last night when this was happening? I was doing something, but I missed it. I may have been going pee. I'm pregnant. My bladder is testy right now. But I was wondering because I was like, I didn't see Miro on the show, and I was like, it didn't really like matter because it was a good show. But now that it makes sense, because I was like, it's kind of interesting. And I was gonna say that was like my one criticism of the show was there was no Miro, but I guess there was. So just kidding.
Yeah,
but they have to do something because this is like, that was a great way to like introduce him. You know, have him be the best man or whatever. But now it's like, all right, that's the one thing. Wrap it up.
I'll also say with Miro, I've been watching some of his Twitch streams lately, and I'm becoming more and more of a fan of him, like as a person. Every time I hear him talk, which
I've heard that. I've wanted to catch his Twitch streams.
Yeah, he does a really good job of like I don't know how to. He seems really genuine in the way he talks, and you're kind of like, he's been really open about like how he left WWE and how he was like negotiating with some other companies, and AEW is where he wanted to go, and like he's been really. I don't know. It's one of these things where it's kind of changing my perception of him a little bit because I'm not the biggest. I've said this before. I'm not the biggest Rusev fan. Like it isn't because I dislike the guy. It's just he was always to me kind of more of like a generic kind of foreign heel when he got his big push.
Yeah.
And then the Rusev Day thing was working, but they never did anything with it. So I was always kind of left with this weird like.
Look at my hand.
Huh?
Never mind. My hand disappeared.
Oh yeah, the green screen effect.
Yeah, but anyway, sorry.
But yeah, that's it's just I want to see more out of Miro, and I'm seeing more of it on his Twitch streams. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really starting to relate to this guy more, and if they can use him correctly in AEW, which I have no doubt in my mind that they will, because like AEW has done really, really well with their storylines, but they got to do it fast. I think there's a lot of buzz about Miro being there, and for him to just be the best man to Kip Sabian, who's let's be honest here, Kip Sabian's basically a jobber level AEW talent.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's like a main event level guy. If Miro turns on him, it's like a curtain jerking like
I got ratings, by the way.
What are the ratings?
No, go ahead and finish your point.
Basically the point being that Miro is in like a jobber to mid-level feud right off the bat, but hopefully he just destroys him and then moves on to like something that I can't say people care about. I care about this, but I don't. But it's Kip Sabian has. I have no reason to like think Kip Sabian's gonna win. Like he hasn't beaten anybody that matters since AEW started. You know what I mean?
He's just kind of there, which is fine.
I mean, Penelope Ford is way more
She's good.
of a. Well, I think
she's really good.
Yeah, I think she's way more over than he is. Like he's like second fiddle to her, and Miro's second fiddle to him. Like, they have to shift that completely. Like...
Yeah. I don't know where they go with Miro and, like, who he moves on to, but I completely agree with everything you said. Yes, honey? Yes, I will in a second. So, in conclusion, NXT and AEW need to be on different nights. Because AEW did 886,000, NXT did 689,000. And I will be honest with you, I've heard fantastic things about the NXT show. I think NXT did deserve a better number. I think AEW deserved a better number. And I think you could both give them the numbers that they deserve and the viewership that these guys deserve. These guys and gals, sorry. These guys in a non-gender specific way there.
I know what you mean.
That's what I meant. Yes. These wrestlers are working their butts off to like compete with one another for like I don't know. It's unfortunate, and I would just wish that we could all enjoy. It really sucked not being able to watch NXT last night. It really did.
Yeah. And there's the ratings for everybody while we're talking about that, so
Oh.
Yeah.
They're so tasty.
I'm tasty.
Let's eat you.
No, it's not.
Taste your hot dog.
No, don't taste my socks, please.
Taste
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
your socks.
Please don't. I will get you. I will turn the TV on for you in a minute. Did you throw your popsicle away? You. Where is it?
I'm not. I'm gonna go sorry.
Popsicle better not be on the couch that we just steam cleaned. Anyways, continue. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, Lance Archer comes out next. He's with Jake the Snake. And I don't know why people are still, like, the people around the ring are still, like, logically speaking, when Lance Archer comes out to the ring, you would stay as far away from the guardrail as possible. And these people are still, like, leaning over it like, yeah, all right, cool. And then he's just grabbing them and launching them over the thing, beating the hell out of them. I liked the promo from Jake. I really liked the promo from Lance.
Yes.
I feel like that was the first time we've heard Lance talk in AEW.
Yeah. And it was great.
Yeah, he did really well. Did really well. It brought out Taz, and it's cool because you have this alliance, and the story totally makes sense. So
It does.
basically, Taz and Jake the Snake have basically made a deal to where if Lance Archer can beat Moxley for the title, then Brian Cage will get the first shot at Lance Archer. So it's mutually beneficial to everyone involved to basically team up against Mox and get Archer that championship. And then Brian Cage gets his shot if that happens. So what do you think about all this? Like this kind of like alliance building up and this whole promo and everything?
Well, like you said, it makes sense.
Mama, see how I lick my tail?
It makes sense, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good kind of oomph on this storyline. I think it also helps kind of draw it out a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Like it's letting it kind of marinate because it's like, oh, we're not just gonna get this match right away.
Right.
It's building it to make it seem like more credible because I mean Lance Archer wins this, battle royal, and so I mean you could go off of that, but I think that this really builds it up and makes the championship match with Jon Moxley mean so much more. And this alliance and Mox's alliance is really cool. And it's nice. It's nice to see Moxley have friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll talk about that here in just a second because things. Because that was well actually that was right there and then there was the main event. That's right. Duh.
Yeah.
So yeah. As you were saying.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta get her something real quick. But
You're good. I'm gonna read off the super chat actually while you do that. It's perfect. Dylan's wrestling
Thank
stuff.
you, Dylan. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Dylan. Says Moxley and Archer are gonna bring it again, just like their match at NJPW for the U.S. title. Yeah, 100%. They've had really good matches in New Japan, so I think that's literally the exact line of thinking, Dylan, is AEW's booking and basically going, yeah, this match, they killed it over there. A lot of the U.S. audience hasn't seen this. We got both guys. They're both credible. They're both good in the ring. We know it's going to work. Do it on the 1 year anniversary show because it's you can count on it being a good match. And yeah, I'm totally with you there. And then also with, as Jesse was alluding to, we had Brian Cage. He's of course along with Ricky. So he comes out with Ricky Starks and he attacks Moxley. Moxley comes out to talk to Jake and the whole alliance and all those guys. And after Starks and Cage attack Moxley from behind, Will Hobbs comes out, who was recently officially signed by AEW. He comes out, helps Mox out, and then Mox gets on the microphone, calls out Darby Allin, says that, hey, it's time to fight, let's go. And I just love that alliance that Moxley and Darby Allin have had since the beginning of AEW. Like, they have just this weird friendship that it makes total sense. They can fight each other and for the belt, and you still have the same level of intensity as you would, but when they need each other's help, they have each other's back. Like, I love it.
Respect each other.
Yes. And you know that Moxley is doing everything he can to prep them for the future. Because, like, Darby is going to be a guy... Now, he's a little more of a risk than the others because of the risks he takes. But if he can stay uninjured, like avoid serious injuries... Because he's going to get injured. But if he can avoid serious injuries... He's a guy who could long-term be one of their top guys for a really, really long time. And Moxley, I think, recognizes that, and he's doing everything he can to make Darby Allin look as badass as humanly possible. So, this was all great.
Yeah, it's all great. And thank you so much, Dylan. I completely agree. They're going to bring it again. That New Japan match, that was at Wrestle Kingdom, wasn't it? Because I watched it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and it was a Texas Death match. It was really good. Yeah. I remember Lance Archer, I think it was Lance Archer, got his arm put through the table and it was really gnarly. It was kind of gross. It was a really good match. I think they can bring it. It's kind of funny. I was just thinking this before Dylan put the super chat in. Lance Archer is one of those people that he's just kind of like an enigma that you kind of forget is a dude from Texas. He just doesn't give me as a Texan now living in Florida, but as a Texan, he does not give me Texan vibes. Just not at all. I don't see him and think, yeah, you're from Dallas. I'm from Dallas. I'm from McKinney. You give me McKinney vibes for sure. No. maybe without the dreads and maybe with like jeans and not a cowboy shirt because that's not as Texas as you think. With like a University of Texas like polo tee, I could see it. But yeah, sorry, that was kind of a tangent, but I absolutely agree. They're both fantastic wrestlers. He brought it with Cody Rhodes.
Oh
Vince
yeah.
Archer did, you know. So it'll be great, and I love that they're building to it by kind of making it more complex and putting adding other wrestlers who honestly like could be in the mix for the world title anyways. So yeah, I like it.
Fun fact, speaking of Lance Hoyt or Lance Archer, whatever, I guess Lance Archer now, used to be Lance Hoyt. His original name in Impact, when it was TNA, so much name changes over the years. When it was TNA Wrestling, his name when he debuted was Dallas. That was his ring name. He was just called Dallas. So, yeah.
I miss Dallas so much.
Was there
Back
anything before the main event that we need to
No.
talk about? Tony Khan.
Wait.
Orange Cassidy versus Brody Lee for the TNT title next week. That'll be good.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Oh God.
And Orange Cassidy was a part of the main event also. I'll let you start.
Oh!
I'll let you start on this one. So like, we had, in my opinion, this was like the best parking lot brawl street fight like I've ever seen. I thought it was absolutely incredible. The Best Friends beating Santana Ortiz. Yeah, give me your thoughts on this match because I know you were really, I know you love this and you've watched it multiple times now.
I love this so much. This match had like so many little details that were just beautiful. They utilized everything in that parking lot to supreme elite skill. They utilized everything there the way that me as a wrestling fan that I wanted to see them do. This was a parking lot, street fight, whatever you want to call it. This is what, when I think of that, this is what I want to see. It was brutal, but it didn't leave me like completely disgusted. It was just brutal enough to where you go, oh, and then you're like, but then you keep going. You kind of forget how brutal it was and you kind of get back into it. It didn't take you out of the moment with its brutality. It kept you in the moment with its brutality, which was beautiful. I loved how they like utilized like the car, the front hood smash. I love how they utilized the truck bed, how they used the truck bed and like flipped it up. Oh God, that was beautiful. The windshields that didn't Trent go through a windshield?
Yeah.
And like his back.
Yeah, you got power bomb through.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ow. That looked so painful. Just then in the truck to finish the match with the board breaking too.
And before that, Chuck Taylor hit a pile driver right on the hood of the other car.
Yes. It was like everything like a fantasy booker could want to book happened in that match. And you have been campaigning for this and you've been talking about this and they did it. They gave Santana and Ortiz a legitimate match and it put them over.
Yes. Even though they lost, it's still.
Even though they lost.
Yes.
They did not look like a joke in this. For a long you have been saying this specifically. They have been too much of a joke. They've been too campy, too hammy. And they just came out. They put some face paint on. They were ready to go. They went out there and they delivered. The blood on the face paint, like coming through the face paint, was so cool. Was that actually blood? I think it was.
I think so. I mean, they were all, they were all cut up for real.
Blood on the concrete. There was just, and then just, it put them over, even though they lost. And AEW is so good at that. They're so good at being able to put people over even with a loss, which is fantastic. It is a huge strength.
And with them, you still have the out where it was technically 3-on-2 because Orange Cassidy attacked, and then the inner circle was nowhere to be found. And I think that was really important because I think that next week on Dynamite, Santana Ortiz go up to the rest of the inner circle and they're like, where the hell were you guys at when we went through that? Like, we're out. Like, we're done playing games and having comedy with you guys. Like, we're out of here and doing our own thing. And because they need to. Like them on their own in this match was more important than anything they've done in the last year with
They
Inner
proved
Circle.
it. They proved they don't really like. I mean, the Inner Circle won't be there for them. Why should they be there for the Inner Circle? They proved that they can hold their own. They didn't win, but that's because, like you said, Orange Cassidy popped out of that trunk like a magician, like a damn rabbit out of a magic magician's hat, and whooped on them. They proved that they could have done it had there not been interference, and had there been interference with the Inner Circle, maybe they could have won, but it didn't happen.
Right, exactly.
It was
So
so
good.
unexpectedly good. Like, I was not expecting to sit down to AEW Dynamite and watch a pay-per-view worthy match on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, that
Like-
was one of those where, because I watched it. Oh,
Sorry, I dropped a mirror.
oh, jeez. All right. Thought that was something else. Good deal. Nothing serious.
No.
I thought like Scarlet fell off something is what I
No,
immediately
gosh,
thought.
no.
I was like, oh my god, it was just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, good. So, yeah, me and my brother and my friend Mike, who I talk about all the time, we're all watching, and we were like glued to this. We were like, this is one of the best matches we've seen in like a long time. Like this was one of, like I said at the when we started talking about this match, like I really think it was the best. I cannot think of a better just straight up like parking lot brawl match ever. Like they did all this stuff that when you play the WWE video games, especially the ones back in the day, I don't know if they still have them, but they used to have like parking lot brawls, and all the stuff you could do in that game, like they were doing for real on TV, like using like you were saying, the hoods of the cars and throwing people in trunks
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, just breaking boards over each other's backs, and I mean, so good.
Yeah.
And
It was so good.
And I love how best
Yeah.
friends win, and they look like, now they look badass, even more badass also, because
They-
it's like they overcame it, they won. Like they aren't just goofy guys that like play around either. Like they won this brawl.
AEW is so good at making them look badass. I mean, I'm not giving them enough credit. They looked so badass. They were able to go into Sue's van, his mom's. They were able to, once in victory, get into the back of their mama's van and look badass as hell doing it. And Sue giving the middle finger was the damn icing on the effing cake. That was so amazing and beautiful. It was so good that Mick Foley had to get up, go to his bathroom, and film a video about how good it was. Like, he was in his bathroom. I could hear the echo. I mean, I'm not hating on him, but like, wait, what?
No, I thought you were gonna say something else. I just thought you were gonna.
No,
something else with
I don't
that.
know. Maybe he should. No, Mick Foley's great. I love Mick Foley.
He saw the match, went to his bathroom.
Oh, no!
And just, man, that was a good match. Man, that was a good match.
Oh,
All right.
Man, I wouldn't blame him. I'm not gonna hate him. Wrestling does that to me sometimes too. But I mean, I love Mick Foley, but for him to put that over like that immediately afterwards, to make a video and to say, that's the kind of match I would have wanted. He was talking about how he wanted to do that with like Vader or somebody. And
They had some crazy. I didn't see the tweet, but yeah, he had some crazy. Like, I think against Vader was the first time I saw him do what they called the Nestea plunge, which was when Mick Foley would jump off. Mick Foley used to jump off the ring apron, like he would be looking towards the ring, like holding the ropes, and he'd get knocked off, and he would just do a full-on dive, like to the back, like not protect his head, and just whack, just the back of the head to the concrete every time. Anyway, that's the first thing I think about when I think about Vader. And also, Vader's also the one who tore part of his, like, how he's missing that ear.
yeah, that's
that
right.
happened in a match with Vader with the ropes. Anyways, sorry.
But yeah, no, you're good. But that's what he said. He said that that's the kind of match he wanted. He like pitched a match like that, and he said he doesn't even think that I'm maybe misconstruing this. My apologies, Mick Foley. I mean nothing but respect to you. You're awesome. Thank you for following me on Twitter. He said like that's the kind of match. Even if we would have done that, I don't think we would have been able to pull off a match like that. It was great, fantastic work, and just really put the whole match over. It was wholesome. It was fantastic. It was great. And I think that was such a damn good match, man. That was, oh my God. And it was like, on a Wednesday night, just like, oh yeah, hey, guess what? Like, I mean, we've kind of been building to this, but it hasn't been like such a big main event build. Guess what our main event's gonna be in the parking lot of, I felt kind of bad for the people there at the show because it was kind of not
Yeah, I guess we're just watching on a big
okay,
screen.
which is fine. I mean, I'm sure there were people like over. I'm sure it was like, where was it? I couldn't even like tell where it was in Daly's place, but I'm sure there were people that were higher up that could have like just leaned over and saw it. But it was definitely. Oh no.
When it's a legitimate blow off to the feud, like it's over now. Like they settled it in the parking
Right.
lot.
Done.
It's done.
Done.
Like they can both move on to new things, and both teams look better for it. So mission accomplished,
Yeah.
AEW. Like this whole feud was great. We got an actual ending and actual winners, and
Yes.
both teams can do something now different, and we're looking forward to it. Like.
Yeah.
And there's not a shitload of 50-50 booking, hopefully, because as long as they don't just keep doing this match over and over, this was a perfect ending to all of it. So,
Oh my God, right? It
Yeah.
was. It was the perfect conclusion to a storyline.
Yeah.
That's how it should be done. And you know what? We get a Samoan street fight on SmackDown on Friday.
what's happening there? Is it Uso and Roman?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so out of the loop on what's going on with.
I just saw that announced. I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, maybe I'll tune in. Like I've said before, I'm very, very interested in what Roman Reigns is doing as a heel.
Me too. I'm
but
not picking on him at all. No.
But I can get my fix of that by literally watching the clips on YouTube like off WWE's own channel. I could go on their YouTube channel right after SmackDown, watch Roman Reigns' segments, and not have to spend 2 hours watching SmackDown. So that's all I've been doing. But
It was a great show. 10 out of 10.
AEW, yeah, 100%. I agree. 10 out of 10. Still killing it. Is there anything else that you want to touch on before I get to the sponsors?
Really quick, just this kind of personal. I had a friend this week pass away from complications due to her eating disorder. Really serious, really scared the hell out of me, if I'm being honest with you, because it kind of made me realize that the two women that my room was next to in Denver the first time I was pregnant are both dead. And they both died because of complications due to their eating disorder. Eating disorders kill people all the time. We've lost at least 3 or 4 people within this week because of their eating disorders. Eating disorders are extremely serious. If you or anyone you know is suffering or you think may be suffering from an eating disorder, please go to the nationaleatingdisorders.org. Take the free screening tools, get the resources. They have a free helpline available as well. They're also at NEDA, NEDA staff on Twitter. You can get a lot of resources there. She was an amazing person, an amazing human being, and she's gone. She was an incredible influence to me. She was an incredible support system to me. She was just an amazing person, really fighting the good fight, and she's gone. She fell asleep and she didn't wake up. And it's scary because it can happen at any time. And this is why when I see disordered eating on my Twitter page by professional wrestlers, I get extremely concerned, because you're doing permanent damage to your health, that you could fall asleep one day and not wake up and not be there for your kids. It's extremely serious. It's not a cheat day. If you're binging 10,000 calories, it's a problem and you need to get help. And I don't want to see another person lose their life over an eating disorder. The best way to prevent death is early detection and early intervention. And when you see the warning signs, you need to contact the National Eating Disorders Association, contact a therapist, contact someone in your circle. It's a very complicated disorder, and disordered eating can switch to an eating disorder very quickly. And I just plead with all of you, please, if you yourself are struggling, or if you know someone that you think may be struggling, please find a calm way to raise your concerns with them. Do some research, get some support from professionals in the best way to do that. And please help your friends, help save a life. If you are struggling, you are not alone. There's hope, there is recovery. Please, I'm begging you, do not be a statistic. I cannot see another life be lost because of an eating disorder. It's incredibly serious. It has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. other than opioid dependency, which is a mental illness, but it's also kind of a complicated thing. But other than that, eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any mental illness because of the physical manifestations that happen within the body because of an eating disorder. And even in recovery, one simple relapse, one simple slip up can cost you your life. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Samantha. I miss you, girl.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a bummer. And yeah, if there's anybody out there that's suffering from that kind of stuff, please do go get help. We don't want to see that happening to more people. That's terrible.
It's awful, and what sucks is it's like, who's next? It's like, who's gonna be next? Because that's just how it is. You know, am I next? I hope not. But you know, just it's scary. It's sobering. It's when I saw that note that they left me on my door. I said, what? Because I had a scare where I went into preterm labor while I was in the hospital and I had to come back. And the sign said, "Welcome back, baby mama." They both signed it. They are both dead. Both dead from their eating disorders.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's
Serious.
sobering.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. So, yeah. Sorry to kind of be a bummer there. But if I can do like a positive twist, there is hope and there is recovery. And I've seen people make full recoveries. And people do fight through and they do push on, and there's countless stories of recovery and hope and a light after the darkness. There is, but it's sad to see, and I just don't want to see anyone suffer. And that's why I'm so thankful for wrestling, because it does kind of give me a good outlet for kind of taking that pain away. I know you went through a lot with losing your mother, and wrestling was kind of an escape for you, and
yeah,
so I think
time.
that's yeah, and I think it's I'm just so grateful to have this kind of outlet in this community to kind of be an escape from my eating disorder. And it's also given me an identity beyond my eating disorder, because for a long time I was known as Jessica the Anorexic, and now I'm not known for that. I'm known for my smelly hoodie.
There you go.
But you know, hey, I'll take it over a deadly disorder that kills people. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey Issa, I see you in the chat there.
Hi.
If you're still here, I hope you're doing well. Hope Roman's doing well. My little buddy. Oh, love that guy.
I know, he's so cute.
Little Roman. The only reason I've ever watched TikTok is to watch.
You know, I was telling you about my TikTok rabbit holes I've been down.
Yeah, I've literally I don't have the app or anything. I've just found Roman the Yorkie. I think I just hashtag Roman the Yorkie on Google or something, and I just went to the TikTok and just watched that little guy just living his life. Every now and then Issa sends me a direct message with just a random picture or video of him. It's always it's he was sleeping the other day. He was snoring. Yeah, he just looks
Oh
so,
my god.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he was walking with poopies.
just got home from their walk. Yeah, went out for his walk. Hey, did he get a puppuccino today? I always see that on his little. That was so cute. Oh, I know. I was talking. So I told Issa this, but the other day I had my family over for football to watch the Vikings. Even though we lost, it was still fun to have them over. And it was me, my stepmom, my dad, my brother, and my stepbrother. So it was a good amount of us hanging out for the game. And I stream the games from my computer, and I use the so you see my computer background on my TV. My computer where I have the NFL games, I stream onto my television essentially, and you see the background and the background of my computer is that picture of me and you doing our show with Roman the Yorkie watching us. And my stepmom was like, "Oh my gosh, that looks just like Kirby," which was my old dog who was a Yorkie when I was growing up. So she was like, "That looks just like Kirby." She was like, "Oh my gosh." And she was just like, "What a cute dog. Whose dog is that?" She was asking all these questions. And I was just like, it's this girl who watches our live chats and she does wrestling talks and stuff. And that's her. I said that Roman was the unofficial mascot of our podcast. Basically the official really the official mascot. He's basically the official mascot of the podcast. I am gonna get. I've talked about it about getting some t-shirts made for me, you and
Yeah.
her with Roman on there. So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, we love Roman.
Yeah, that's we love Roman's great. He's the dog that on if you ever see the intros, well actually, I don't know where it's at right now, but if you see the intros to our show, I always put a picture of him on there with the sponsors, so there's that. And speaking of the sponsors,
Yeah, I go get my daughter stuff. You go through them.
perfect. If anyone has any last minute super chats, now is a good time to do that. After I read out all the sponsors, then I was looking at Jesse, then I'll go over the super chats. Me and Jesse will read the super chats at the end after I go over these sponsors. So we'll still address any questions, comments, anything that you want us to read on the air before we get off here. I'll also take this time to remind everybody that I'll actually go live on Twitch right after this. So probably about 10 minutes after this stream cuts off, go over to Twitch. It's the same as all my other social media at @FightTalk_. So twitch.tv/FightTalk_. And I'll be playing some Fall Guys. Don't know how long I'll be playing, but I'll jump on there. I always read everything in the chat on Twitch, and there are subscriber options for that where you don't get any advertisements, and you get some badges and emotes and stuff for the chat. But if you have Amazon Prime, then you can link that up to Prime Gaming, and you get a Twitch subscription for free. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel completely for free, and it helps the channel out a lot. So I figured I'd throw all that out there. I hope to see all of y'all in the Twitch stream right after this, because it's really laid back. I just drink White Claw, and I'm just going to try to win in Fall Guys, because I still haven't won. I got like 3rd place the other day. But anyways, we're going to be playing a lot of Fall Guys today. As far as our actual sponsors are concerned, first up, we have Music City Toys and Collectibles. They are the best place to get action figures, DVDs, memorabilia, old magazines, autograph 8x10s, anything you can think of pro wrestling wise. Music City Toys and Collectibles is your hookup. They have something coming up this Friday. They are doing a sale of $5 loose figures here on Facebook. And if you buy 5, you get 1 free. So for those of you who are loose toy collectors, this is a really good opportunity for you. Make sure to jump on there. That'll be live right here on Facebook. Make sure to follow all their social media. Just search Music City Toys and Collectibles. And they're really, really nice people to give you fair business. Check them out. Also, check out WrestleRumble.com. It is the place to be for fantasy pick'em contests, for professional wrestling, and also these insane raffles. The next raffle coming up for $1. Somebody is going to win 8 championship belts, and these are the real deal replicas. These are the like $300 to $400 replica title belts. These aren't like the $20, Walmarts. These are the legitimate, what you get off WWE Shop for like $400 per title championship belts. I mean, there's like probably $3 to $4 grand worth of title belts that I'm looking at right now. We have the NXT Women's Championship, the NXT Men's Championship, the NXT North American Championship. A full set, both titles for the NXT tag team titles. We have the NXT UK Women's Belt, the NXT UK Men's Belt, and the 205 Live the NXT Cruiserweight Championship belt. So we have 8 title belts. Somebody for $1 is going to win all of those. And these prizes, I mean, they're insane. A friend of the show, Hannah Moore, won 5 of these belts on the last drawing. And I know that she put in $20. So for $20, she wound up winning like $2 grand worth of belts. I know she's won another belt in the past. She's won 2 of the raffles, which is crazy. Her luck is just insane. Like the last raffle that they had for the 5 belts, there was like 4,000 entries in that, and Hannah she won that one, and she also won one before that where there was thousands of entries there as well. It's like I'm very impressed with her luck with these title belts, and I'm glad they're going to people that I know, it's just awesome. So once again, WrestleRumble.com is the place to be for all that stuff. They also do actual pick'em contests, like where like a pay-per-view comes up and you pick the winners and losers and like stipulations, if someone's gonna go through a table, if there will be an interference, that kind of stuff. A lot of fun. There's usually a lot of cash on the line, a lot of big prizes like these championship belts. So WrestleRumble.com, make sure to follow them on Twitter to stay up to date with all their contests and raffles at WrestleRumble. And lastly, give a shout out here to Brian Jensen. This is my brother. He is a professional boxing coach. He is a head trainer with, this is LDBF Atlanta, which is a Parkinson's Foundation. He can help you with dexterity work if you deal with neurological issues of any kind. If you just want to get in better shape, if you want to learn how to be a professional boxer or an amateur level boxer, or you just want to learn some self-defense, whatever it is, Brian's got you covered. He can meet you in person. He can meet you in his gym. He can meet you at your house, where you work, out in a field, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever's most convenient for you. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, he can help you reach your goals. And if you're not anywhere close, he can help you on Zoom. He'll do Zoom calls, put together whole plans for you, and help you online. So make sure to give him a follow on Instagram at BoxingATL. That's BoxingATL. Hit up Brian Jensen, and just like with all of our sponsors, if you tell them that me and Jesse sent you their way, I guarantee you get a really, 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 really good deal on stuff. So that's everything I've got. Once again, I'll mention it once more. Right after this, I'll be going on Twitch. So about 10 minutes after the stream cuts off, we're jumping over to Twitch. I'll read everything that goes on in the chat. All the subscriptions are very, very thankful for. All the follows I'll be very, very thankful for. And I'm going to pass it on over to Jessie to talk about all her stuff and tell you to make sure to subscribe right here on YouTube for some giveaways.
Woo! Yes, and I'm subscribed to your Twitch too. So
yes, thank you so much. She was the first person to subscribe when I went back to Twitch. So
yeah, I was
true,
like, boing.
True friend, right
Amazon
there.
Prime, boing. So yes, so yeah, that go over there. I may be tuning in maybe later. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for dinner here, but yes. So the best way to support me and to support my growing family, I'm halfway through my pregnancy. OMG, can't believe it. Is through my OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Jessie the Buckeye, JessieTheBuckeye. It's on my Twitter. It's in my link is in bio. A la Jake Paul. That's what he says, I guess. Ugh.
Double dab. Yep.
That's the best way to support me directly and my family. That's like my source of income. So I'm super grateful for every subscription that I get on there, especially right now, just with a baby on the way. I also have a baby registry on Amazon, and I have a baby registry at Target. They're both under Jessi Davin or Jessica Davin. So, and I just posted the links yesterday underneath the video of my ultrasound from yesterday. So if you want to go find them there, you can. I mean, you don't have to buy anything from there, but I am giving everyone handwritten thank you notes if you do purchase something or whatever. So that is definitely happening. Some people have gotten them, so thank goodness. I was like really worried about that podunk mailbox. But yes, so that's where you can find me. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. If you don't want to subscribe to my OnlyFans and you want to follow me for free, that's the best way to do it. I keep my Instagram private and I keep my Facebook private. This is where all my family is. And I don't need people being jerks because people are assholes on the internet. So if the best way to find out what I'm going to do is on Twitter or my OnlyFans or here on YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would mean a lot to us. We are going to do a giveaway. When we get to 10K, we'll go more into that when we get closer and closer. We're getting closer. I don't even know how many subs we're at right now.
I don't either. I think we're like 200 or so away. I say we're. You had most of these before the show. This is mainly your subscribers.
No, actually, 9.77K. Wow. Okay. So we're like 300, 200 something away. I don't know. I'm not good at math.
Oh yeah, that's doable. That's doable.
Yeah, that's doable.
Soon.
That's doable. So we would really love to give away some cool stuff. I have like an AEW mask on All Out face mask that I got that doesn't fit me. So I'm going to wash that and give that away. Then there's some other cool stuff I've got in the works. That would be really cool to give away. We'd like to give away free stuff on this channel. Thank you all.
I've got also, I got a couple action figures and autographed 8x10s and stuff to throw in there. So we're starting to put together a pretty cool package for y'all.
Yes. Yes. We're really excited. So if you could subscribe, that'd be really great. Also, if you do like what you've seen today, if you really do like this video, if you've enjoyed what you've seen or you've enjoyed chatting, please do give this video a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. Like I said, we're so thankful for every amazing, incredible human being in this chat. Our chat is so awesome, so amazing, so incredible, and we're so thankful for everybody. We're thankful for the super chats and the chatters. We love y'all so much. We love everyone who watches this and sticks around for the entire time. It means the world to us. So likes, engagement, really helps us get in that nice little fun YouTube algorithm and gets YouTube recommending us a little bit more to more like-minded people just like y'all. And we can get more friends because who doesn't love wrestling? We love that this brings the world together a little bit. Sometimes, usually, we can all kind of find common ground and brings people of all walks of life, of all different political parties, of all races, sexes, genders together for the love of wrestling. And I think that that's beautiful, and I think it's fantastic, and that's why I love it so much. So it can do good sometimes.
Yeah,
And
if you like
yeah.
wrestling, you're not the fat kid. Everyone's the fat kid. That's how I always
Yes,
put it.
exactly.
So I always put it. If
Yes.
you've ever felt left out for any reason, if you go to a wrestling show, you're amongst a bunch of people who probably know a lot about
Just
how
like
you
you.
feel. Yep.
Yes, just like you. And I think that it's great. And I love it. And I never feel like the reason I started tweeting and tweeting videos and stuff was because my husband went to bed, my daughter went to bed. I was like sitting because they go to bed early. Obviously, my kid goes to bed early, and my husband has to go to bed early usually because he has to wake up early. So I'd just be sitting there all alone. My husband likes to enjoy wrestling, but he kind of catches up in the morning. So I was kind of like really lonely and bummed out that I'm enjoying this amazing show back then by myself. And so that's why I started doing my whole Twitter thing, was just to feel a little bit less alone. I know it sounds really pathetic and sad,
No,
but it's
that's
true.
very relatable. I think everyone in the chat
Yeah,
could probably relate to that in one way or another.
and I think that's why I'm so grateful for it, and that's kind of how it started. And now look at us, look at us. We're doing a little
Look at
podcast.
us. Look how cool I look with these glasses on.
I know, unreal coolness, just elite coolness. I got mimosas in the back.
Oh, you know what? I
got
might.
in the back.
What should I do? I'll let you make the decision. Should I drink White Claws, or I've got Bloody Mary mixed in some vodka that I could do? I might do some Bloody
That
Marys
gets
today.
so dirty. Yes, do
I
the
do
Bloody
some Bloody
Marys.
Marys. I mixed.
Ooh,
I made my own
okay,
mix.
how's your stomach? How's your stomach?
Oh, it's good. I'm good.
You're good, so you can do the tomato juice, no problem. Not
Oh
gas.
yeah,
reflux.
no. So what I do, I make my own mix. So it's like, well, mainly it's kind of my dad's concoction, but then I kind of add to it. But I started using this because I really like pickle juice, and I started using.
Ooh.
But instead of the pickle juice this time, I used, it's like spicy jalapenos that I've got. And I use a little bit of that spicy jalapeno, or it's like kind of spicy and sweet jalapeno mix, or whatever. I put that into the mix with your typical stuff. It starts with just the tomato juice, and then like the hot sauce and the pepper
Without
and
the
whatnot.
alcohol, that sounds amazing to me.
Yes, and then of course I throw some vodka in there, but
I
for you obviously right now for obvious reasons you wouldn't want to be doing that, but for me it's
gross.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm thinking about doing that. Maybe I'll do some Bloody Marys on the stream today.
Yeah, you drink them slow though. Yeah, but what are they called? Shit, Smoky Mountain Moonshine. They do moonshine pickles. You could put that pickle juice in there.
That sounds really good.
I just saw those moonshine pickles on TikTok.
And is there actual like moonshine like
They're
the alcohol's in
it's
there?
moonshine brined pickles.
Yum.
That
Sounds
would be
delicious.
dangerous, but I mean, it sounds like if I was a drinker, that's probably I'd try to get drunk as quick as I could. This is probably why I don't drink even when I'm not pregnant. Like, I just drink to get drunk. I mean, it's like, what's the point? I don't drink anymore. It was not good for me.
It's definitely taken the back seat to like other stuff, but
Yeah.
like I still do enjoy the. It's not one of those things where I never really think about drinking. It's just one of those things where like if I have time and like I know I don't have any real responsibility like the rest of the day, I'm just like, oh sure, I'll start drinking. Like I always have White Claws on deck. That's the one thing. In my refrigerator, I've always got White Claws ready. So, but anyway, this is probably a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Hopefully I see some of y'all over on Twitch after this. Twitch.tv/FightTalk_. Follow the guy. Follow guys.
OnlyFans and Fall Guys.
OnlyFans
Yeah.
and Fall Guys. Thanks for joining.